Talk to me about death, Rob. And let's break this down a bit as it's an interesting subject, usually not covered in a huge amount of insight because people don't tend to reflect on it in depth from what I've seen in YouTube videos. Certainly, certain people do and do it great justice, but I think it could be done better with a more nuanced approach. So when you go through your life, you're banking on health as like a baseline state that you neglect. Okay. So your health is like this baseline state that's propping you up that you don't take into account. And that's like all features of health, be it sleep, uh, eating, rest, exercise. When you have conditions that disrupt those, you soon see that the baseline state of each of those you were banking on. So when you can't sleep, suddenly that refreshing baseline state of an energy bed that you have there is then gone. And then you think, shit, I would do anything to have that back. When anxiety is so high you can't eat, and then you're having to eat liquid meals, and every bite feels like you're trying to fit a steak down a straw. You then get into a state of feeling that baseline state has gone and everything's starting to become a struggle. When you have chronic health conditions, the day is a struggle. So an individual wakes up not refreshed. They then walk in pain in their joints. They then brush their teeth with a fatigued arm and elbow. They then look in the mirror to pale skin due to circulation, due to not refreshed sleep, and other pains and ailments. So the individual is living through this complex neurological web, and it's difficult. If you speak to people with much more complex neurological disorders, they say that sleep and using the bathroom feels like a job, a very complex job. Whereas to an individual who has none of these issues, sleep and using the bathroom are simple habits that don't require any effort at all. So when you start thinking of how normal day-to-day situations have these levels of a baseline state that we rely on, but then when they are gone or we have neglected, they soon become very apparent. Now, death is very similar. Death is a passive process, the same as sleep. Sleep, there is nothing to do. Yes, if you have to have a bed that's relatively comfortable and a room that's not got rain on your head, yes, there is elements of control in there. But primarily, sleep is a passive process where sleep flows through the brain like a river through a stream, and there is nothing to do but to allow. And death is the same. When it comes, it comes. It's just a part of the process. We were born on this rock in outer space, woke up in this spacesuit, which is the human body, on this rock in outer space randomly somewhere in the universe. No particularly exciting or interesting part, just a random pale blue dot, as Carl Sagan used to say in his excellent video, A Pale Blue Dot. And when we then think of, so we think of our life, this just random existence, a blink of an eye, and then gone. You start to see that death is this passive process that just washes over us randomly at a time in our life, and there's no need to work out, to control anything there, apart from the usual health things we do to prolong our life, that when it occurs, it occurs. When we're dead, we don't know it. It's another realm to us. It's not our world. It's not us. We are gone. So there is no need to even to think about what is going to happen, to internally control, get ready for what's going to happen, because we are not there. We don't exist. As Mark Twain said, we don't fear the infinity prior to our birth, nor should we. This isn't a direct quote of his. I'm taking from the quote the wisdom in it. And after our death, there is the infinity that we do not know. And when we think of our grandparents that have died and passed away, we think of that as a peaceful state gone. They're not there anymore. And that's the same as the time before our birth. That vast amount of time is the same after our birth. Now, I'm obviously not taking into account any religions, and people have different beliefs on those. But people tend to, when in a hospital bed, even with strong conviction of religious beliefs, they do tend to ponder death and think about the what could come or what and things like that. And there is a lot of doubt there, even usually even in many of the religious. So after our when we die, you are it's a you're and approaching to it is a letting go of control and not trying to work it out. That is coming to all of us. Each of us, one day there is going to be a day, and we have no idea when, because we're banking on this baseline state of health. I could realistically be making this audio clip today, and this evening I could pass away. Now with that, we also bank on it being far off. So we say to ourselves, it will be a long way away, so I needn't ever think about it. But that's not guaranteed. You only need to have a series of health problems that move quite quickly, and you could find yourself within a day or so passing away. And you have no control over that situation. And then you're gone. You're not seeing family. Your career doesn't matter. What you wear doesn't matter. Your personality doesn't matter. All your health checks don't matter. Your house doesn't matter. Your belongings don't matter. Everything you've done don't matter. It's gone. People also say, when I'm on my deathbed, I'll have loads of regrets. Yeah, but even if you have loads of regrets, the next day or two, you're gone. So it wouldn't even matter. So death is this huge kind of, it feels like almost black hole, but it's not black because it's not even there to be experienced by us. So it's just they're not there. We're not there. And people then fear the foreverness, but there is no foreverness when you're not there. You don't experience the foreverness because you're not there. Now, we live at a time where people are heavily adopting longevity because of the speed of AI and living forever. Do I think that humans are going to live forever when we get past this sort of escape velocity of human beings being able to add years to their life through changes that AI advances for health? So that for every year that goes past, we gain another year because of the advances in technology. So we end up living like that octopus that regenerates itself over and over. Very much so, I think that's coming. But at the same time, I don't bank on that. There could be health consequences prior to that coming into existence for myself, for example. Who knows? And because we're all of different ages and we all have different problems. And who knows? AI might wipe us out. There's no banking on that too. So we have so many things there that are uncertain. Now, say you can live forever. Let's say AI has done that. They found a way to back up the brain on a computer terminal. They found a way to fix all the problems in the body ongoing. Let's say that, right? Well, you could still have a car crash and die, but then you could say, yes, but the terminal's backed up. What was the something wrong with the terminal? There's no complete guarantee of living forever. Now, maybe in future civilizations, they have worked around that too, so that the brain has been backed up in multiple planets and so on, which with the speed of AI and stuff doesn't even seem that far-fetched at all or far off with the way that things are going. However, even in all those circumstances we think of, the universe still, if you go far enough into the future, will not be here. Maybe we advance around that and we're able to keep that continuing. Who knows what we manage to pull off, and who knows what's scientifically possible with all the resources? Who knows? However, if you start to adopt that thinking and want more and more control because you're trying to make sure that you live on for eternity, and you are trying to ensure that you are not disrupted by any negative health consequences or life events, you can be rest assured that that will not be possible, because if you have OCD, which is going to look for every crack and it's going to look for everything. I could convince myself right now I've got a week left to live if I dived on Reddit and went through all different health things and worked out all my odds of different things, right? So the best option is to fully embrace death, allow it, and think of the great years you've had of your life, or maybe the not so great years, but they've been great moments, whatever. And even if not so, you've just done the best you can. And in life, you are not certain of the future at all. Just because the other days have felt comfortable in one way or another, you don't know what's around the future. Just think about how your own health's changed. There was a day where you didn't have chronic OCD, and you felt comfortable in your bed, waking up thinking they've not got a concern in the world. And then the chronic OCD began. Certainly the case for me. At the age of 16, if you'd tested me for health things and spoken to me, I would have said my health is fantastic. The doctor would have said my health is fantastic. The neurologist would have said that health was fantastic. Cardiologist would have said my health was fantastic. And I myself would have believed my health was fantastic. But then just out of nowhere, boom, OCD came in. So You have no control over the future to the level that you imagine. Society and media will make it out like you do have much more control than you can imagine, but you don't. And they will always be saying that idea. And as advances technology go, we'll have more control, but not all control. More, but not all. And that is key, because the key to accepting death is letting go of the all, getting used to the uncertainty, allowing anything to occur, and getting more peaceful, stepping into the void. You know, the nothingness is the fear. The gigantic nothingness is the fear. Allow that to consume. Allow that to just be a part of your life, the same as your grandparents passed into. With all the fighting in the world, there was nothing that could be done. The same as every generation of the past, every actor in the old films all gone, every billionaire, every athlete, every superstar that thought they were immortal, gone forever, right? So we've got to think that. If you're the fittest, healthiest person, the odds of living to 100 as of right now is something like 5%. Yeah, 5 to 10%, or less than that. And you can do everything. Eat healthy, diet, work out all the time. There's no guarantees. I've met many people in my life who were the fittest, healthiest, most relaxed that died in their 50s and 60s. I work in a profession where I'm meeting people and hearing their health circumstances all the time. And I meet humans in life and see their own circumstances, and we can look at celebrities who have just died in a random car crash, young. We have no guarantees over the future. We have to get comfortable with death. This is a process. You won't do it overnight, but accepting death tends to be at the core, accepting death of you and others, of most OCD suffering. Do not force it. It's a passive process. Work through the process step by step, bringing down those layers of fear and inner control. And that will start to build gradually a baseline of inner peace once again.